I just wanted to take the opportunity to share a few thoughts as we begin this segment of our agenda. Last night, I left the Sealaska Business Social at the Cape Fox Hotel and went to my room, just uplifted by the songs and the dances of the group that performed last night from the Tontaquan. And it was very fitting. I was very appreciative of the room that I was assigned, because outside my window was the Council of the Clans. And this morning when I awoke, they were still there. And I reflected on the difference. I've been in Seattle since January 27th to be with my daughter, Asia Moala, and away from family in Ha'ani, but in the company of some 5,000 Sealaska shareholders in the Washington area. And maybe it's because I'm a brown bear, and maybe it's just because it's all inherent in all of us, that I always check the air. It's just, and I'm looking for that nesting, that something that's familiar. This morning as I left my room and the hotel to come here, it was just a distinct scent of the Nass River, and then the Stikine to the north, and then the Taku River further north, and then, of course, the Alsac. And it just seemed that with the Council of the Clans, that the presence of our ancestors is so strong here, very strength-giving and uplifting for all of us. But on that note, before I move on, I just want to mention the totems, the icons that are there, reminding us who we are, reminding of how powerful it is to be here at home. The pole number 1 was Raven stealing the moon and the stars, and the second pole was Raven stealing the sun. And of course, the brown bear pole, the eagle and the giant clam, and the Nakani pole. And these were carved by master carver Lee Wallace. I'm so appreciative, and I just wanted to underscore that sometimes we're in the company of greatness and we just take it for granted to some extent. And it feels the same way seeing your faces here today, and especially those that wish to be here, that are there in spirit, here in spirit. And following the same theme, I would like to shout out to my mother, Jige Kla, Irene Hunter Cadiente, and my husband, Norval, who was adopted into the Raven Dog Salmon clan by my uncle, Walter Sobolov, and all my brothers and sisters and grandchildren who are shareholders. And that's an important note, that we are so rich, each one of us is so rich, that we're owners, we're caretakers of this land. And again, it's amazing how certain things trigger memories. And the scent of the salmon in the trees here reminded me of my some 40 years fishing around these areas and raising my family with my husband and father-in-law on the waters around here. With that, my segment on the agenda is to acknowledge our board youth advisor. Sealaska directors established the board youth advisor position in 2009, and since then, we have had 7 different terms where the younger shareholders' voice was represented in the boardroom deliberations. For the 2015 and 16 term, shareholder Barbara Dude has attended board meetings while sharing her perspective on Sealaska activity, including land management and the acquisition process. Please help me welcome Barbara Dude to reflect on her time with the board and with Sealaska.
Good morning. Llingit Kreinach Kajasedi Yuchat Duasak. Tlet Kat Kreinach Barbara Dude Yuchat Duasak. Chakna Chat Sati Dakloe Di Ayachat. Kit Gushi Hitdach Jish Kat Kwan. Kiksadi Dutch Khan Ayachat. My Tlingit name is Kajasedi. My English name is Barbara Dude. I come from the Eagle Moiety in the Killer Whale clan. My family comes from the Killer Whale dorsal fin house in Klukwan, and I'm the grandchild of the Kikseti people. I'm from Juneau. I was born and raised in Juneau, and I currently work as a child welfare specialist with Central Council Tlingit and Haida. I'd like to say thank you to Sealaska staff, the board members, for an amazing year. It sure flew by. I'd also like to thank my employer, more specifically my boss, Francine Jones. This position did take me away from work from time to time, and she was extremely supportive of the learning experience. And of course, I'd like to thank my family back home. They're watching, especially my partner, Sean, and my two children, Michelle and Shonde. There are so many experiences that I'd love to reflect on today. However, I will be respectful of my time as we move forward on our agenda. I was able to learn a lot during my term. I learned about the business that Sealaska is engaged in, the programs that they're offering for our next generation of shareholders, and about how the board oversees all of that and makes recommendations while being guided through our cultural values. In my job at Central Council, something that we focus on are culturally competent services. So how are we providing services that fit the special needs of our people, our families, our clients? And over the last year, what really stood out to me in the boardroom is that Sealaska does the exact same thing through their business operations. There were numerous meetings where board members and Sealaska management discussed how their actions can be meaningful and relevant to our people. It was a consistent message that was considered at every single turning point. As a shareholder and tribal citizen, I'm extremely proud that our values and way of life are considered with every business action. As I pass the torch to the incoming board youth advisor, I do have a little advice. One, there's a lot of work ahead of you. Embrace it. Two, in the boardroom, raise your hand and raise your voice. And three, be mindful about how you connect our generation of shareholders to Sealaska every step of the way. Ganesh Chish, Ha'a, Tuyaksit Newsome, Sealaska, for the amazing opportunity. I've really enjoyed every step of the way.
Don't go away so fast, Barbara. One of the things that wasn't mentioned is that Barbara leads a dance group in Juneau, and she has been quite the role model for our children and their parents, and working with their parents. So a special recognition, and thank you for that. We also want to thank you for your commitment to your role. Your dedication to the community as a parent, and your work impacts us all positively. On behalf of the board, I would like to present you a gift that we have, and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. It's a beautiful silver bracelet with the Sealaska logo. Ganesh Chish Ha'a.
Through careful review of the applications for the 2016-2017 term, the board has determined the next board youth advisor, which I have the honor of introducing, David Russell Jensen. David is Tsimshian, Gisbudwada, House of Nislut. He is a 2015 and 2016 Sealaska intern. David is attending the University of Alaska Southeast and is obtaining a Bachelor of Liberal Arts with an emphasis on Alaska Native Languages and Studies. Please help me welcome the 2016-2017 Sealaska Board Youth Advisor, David Russell Jensen.
like I'm a little too tall for this, maybe. And thank you, Barbara, for doing my introduction. I guess that cut half my speech down, huh? Gynnes chish ashtikat Yuhan. Ya Ohana Hoa gynnes chish Sanya Kwan. Tant Akwan. Ya Qanach Addi. Kix Addi. Nech Addi. Teqoidi. Daktrawaidi. Gynnes chish ashtikat Yuhan. Ya Idat. My name is David Russell Jensen. I'm Simshan, and I'm also Enupak. I go to school at UAS, University of Alaska Southeast in Juneau, where I'm learning Tlingit. I grew up in Juneau, I grew up in the city, and it's been an honor to be down here in Ketchikan with everybody. It's a beautiful country, the Sanya Kwan country and Tanta Kwan country. And so I'm learning Tlingit, and so I thought I'd give my speech in Tlingit, and it's really important for everybody to be learning the languages, especially for the younger generations. There's so many opportunities to learn in school, online, through books, and it just takes working together and a lot of work, and it's difficult. There's a lot of difficulties with learning the languages, but it's very important, and so I'm sorry if many cannot understand what I'm going to say, but I wanted to speak in the language. So, ya idadi dakhaya hesh akot ayuk atangi akkodatan ya idat achkhawe cha de khat kakhyukwan cha de khat nayukwan katyuhan hesh akot ayuk atangi akkodatan ya idat ya yaki Tlachwasa Tuashakail Katyuhan Khasatini Kha Ayat Kashyankyan Dikuringai Lagang Lugulu am God and I will need some Gatwan Yasanya Khanani Kakawahani dat Ganashisha Stuka Khatati Ganashish Kix Addi, Nech Addi, Teqoidi, Ganashish Tsutant Akwan, Ganashish Qanach Addi, Daktrawaidi, Ganashish Katsu Ganashish Ashtikat Yuhan, Jakut Adach Yuhan, Ya Dekina, Ya Khadas, Ya Ganashish Hawa, and Ashtikat Uhan, Zimsian Chohan Sati, Ganashish, and Ayakshit Nusam. Enupiak Kainach Sumekaya Achsaich Sati, Achlish Gachtu Saich Sati, Zimsian Ka Enupiak Chatsati, Zimsian Gishpudwada Awewuhan. Nislut du hedi dacha wewuhan. Chawasa yesach waha ganashish. Shaya dehain ya Sealaska hasachua kasha de nakriyanch sati shaya dehani kajakti askak. Shaya dehaj, shakakuni, kashaya dehani Yan has uanakhaji yescha, achrawe kehanashtin Guakshish, wush inye jintu deneni, gachtushatin. Wush inye jinachtu dene. Gachtushatsini. Just hashishku has chiach. Hashishku has yukatangi teen. Gachtushatsin, kehanashtin Has to kusti teen kehanashtin Kitchnash Kaidachaya, Ya Idatawe, Akaha Julsasak, Ya Shautushataki, Yashingit Khasati, De Hajik Adenia Nashtidiowe, Ya Sealaska, Anakhatas Uwanak, Guakshish, Dr. Chun, Hasayawatanik, Hajik, Chush Haji Dachuna Takchi, Hashishko Has Adekaya Kaya, Kajak Tik Edachaya, Has to eatik Kakedichasati, just has to eatik Kakedichasati, that just the cut uhan. Has to yukatangi or which uwaya or take isani yakukati hatuk. Agawa hesh hashishko has to iji kachint was to skeet. Wushin agent in the nani heshtak gachshahash hayukatanki hakusti heshtak gachshahash heshtak dak gachshahash. Ya idat ayat utlachwasa shidzi hakusti Chanaya heshwski dika hashishko has yukatangitin has dukustiitin gaidanak ye goayach kwan katihan hashishko has du etchian to adidat ye goayach kwan ye goayach kwan Wayat kilangs katgek u kilgangang Tranis num de achgem dem suwalauksene algiagam Shinget haidem chadasm algiach Tlachwasa agachlatsin hayucha tankri Hakustigri Hashishk uhas itchyan to adyidat Ganeshchish. So I believe a transcription of this will be published on the Sealaska website this upcoming week. So I apologize for many who may not have understood, but I believe it's very important for our languages to survive. So, Ganeshchish.
I too will turn this over to MC Director Pata, but in closing from this segment, again to thank David for what he just did for us. It's been said that a people can be measured by how they revere their children, how they lift them up. And as I listened to this young man and Barbara that went before him, I thought of how our elders, those that have gone before us, must be smiling, and they saw this day. They saw this day, and they give us hope for what we're to see and to bring about. So Ganesh Chish.